everything was breaking. It was like putting out fires, and I was teaching every single night.
Hi guys, welcome to the Martial Art Business Growth Network podcast. And I'm here again. I'm Rick Dubidat of the Growth Network. I'm joined by my good friend and client, Steve Boland. How you doing, Steve? You okay, mate?
Yeah, good day so far.
Good. Excellent. So today I thought Steve's been with me for a while now in the Growth Network, and he's done some amazing things. The great thing about Steve that not just myself, but a lot of the other members love is the fact that he does the work, which is rare in our industry. He actually shows up, does the work, asks the questions, gets clarity, and does what he needs to. And because of that, there's been some massive changes, improvements, growth and stuff within his business. He's just implemented the systems over and over and over again. Very, very humble guy, an amazing martial artist, amazing human being, in my opinion. And yeah, so I thought. Sorry?
You're making me blush.
Yeah. It's all true. These are things that the other people are saying as well. So
Yeah.
it's true. All right, so let's get straight into it, Steve. So do you want to introduce yourself, just like what you teach, where you're from, and how long?
Yeah, of course, yeah. First of all, I've been with you just over a year. I joined you. I was quickly invited up, and I was in the Christmas event, the end of 2024. So it's just over a year I've been with you. So yeah, I teach the karates that are stylish Storyu, but not important. We teach traditional karate. I have clubs in Ellesmere Port and Chester. Originally, I'm from Liverpool, but Ellesmere Port's on the Wirral, Cheshire side of Liverpool, if that makes sense.
Okay. How long have you been training?
Training or teaching?
How long have you been doing martial arts? When did you start?
55 years. I'm 65 this year, 55 years.
And how long have you been running your martial arts schools?
Professionally, professionally as a business, I started 25 years ago. But in all honesty, probably 23 of those were just repeats of the previous year.
I think we've all been there. Just think we know what we're doing, and then we realize, like, wow, there is
This
another
is a business, and it needs to operate as a business. Yeah,
exactly. Okay, so let's go back to not the beginning, but the beginning of our relationship stuff.
Okay.
So before we started working together, if I'd walked into your business on a random week, say, we're not talking just classes, we're talking about when you're doing admin and the whole lot, what would I have kind of noticed immediately?
That I didn't have a properly trained team, that I was trying to do everything myself, that I was stuck on growing both financially and student-wise because we didn't have the systems. We started to implement them before I met you, but I didn't have a proper direction or vision. I suppose the word vision is the biggest part that I've got from the Growth Network. To know where I'm going. I already kept numbers, but now I have more clarity on what the important KPIs and numbers, and it shows us where we can go and what we need to do to grow, basically.
So what was breaking on a regular basis or not working as well as it should have been in the business at that time? I think a lot of people listening to this they're going to really resonate with that.
Yeah.
The sad thing is a lot of people are still there now. I'm not sure what to do. So how long do you reckon that had been going on for, the kind of chaos?
Before I met you, it'd been going on for let me work it out, 22, 23 years.
Because it'd been going on for so long, like what was the actual cost of, what was it costing you, kind of, do you think, like, time, energy, money?
Well, it was costing me everything. It was costing me energy, my quality of life, my work life, my business life balance. The business was running me. So it was like I had a job working for SNW Crafty rather than me being the CEO and director and owner of that business. I was working for the business.
And that's the thing. So many, I remember when I was in that place.
Yeah.
The thing is, I was working for my business that I owned, and I was the boss. And my boss was an idiot. Me.
I was good saying an idiot of making me, the employer, work hours. And if I worked out my hourly rate, it was ridiculous, based on how many hours I was putting in. It's given me back time as well. That's the biggest thing. Giving me back time, giving me the vision to where I need to train a team, because you can't grow without the proper people there and team. And I'm still on that road of building a better team
100%.
and building an instructor team, leadership, a leadership team, staff members. Like, we've just taken on an appointment setter. That was a big weight off my shoulders, when we get leads and I didn't want to do it. I tried it on top of everything else. I tried it and people were not contactable. So now we have a proper appointment setter, and also Rianne helps me with some of the admin work. I need to push more work towards her.
There's been a lot of changes. We'll talk about those systems in a second. But like at the beginning, with all that was happening, what kind of things were you blaming? Like for me, I know that I was blaming. I found myself saying the same things like, it's the economy, it's the parents, I was blaming everything except the fact that I wasn't holding myself accountable enough.
Yeah.
That plenty. What was it for you? What were you blaming?
I suppose the biggest thing is that not realizing there's nobody to blame, except if you're a business owner, the buck stops at you. You can't blame other people. The market is the market. Parents are parents. They haven't checking. They're still a pain, but it's how you handle that, or get somebody else to handle them, because it emotionally draws on you and physically draws on you and stops you. Sometimes that will pull me back from my vision. And so the best thing is to put somebody else that's best suited, a star in that role, into that role and taking out of it.
So talking about that, was that kind of one of the major things that you realized was the bottleneck?
I was bottleneck because I wouldn't let go. I still struggle to let go, I'll be honest with you.
We'll do. We're control freaks, aren't we? Martial art instructors. We're just ego driven, aren't we? We can't help it.
Yeah.
But I think you're doing pretty good with it so far. So like, what made you decide that you needed help before we started working together?
Because without knowing about you, it was realizing I needed help. I couldn't do this. I couldn't. What was wrong? Where was it going? And blaming myself. And I was the bottleneck, but it was not having the vision, or, like the light at the end of the tunnel. How can I get to that feeling? And I use the word feeling because it does emotionally draw you as well. Bear in mind, if your work-life balance is not good and your partner's having a go at you all the time, your personal life suffers.
Yeah.
And then you start to lose the feeling and reason why you started it all. I did start to make a difference in the community.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was taking everybody's heart. It's a bit like being an empath, isn't it? Taking everybody's problems on board. And you can't do it to be the best version of yourselves. And don't misunderstand me. I'm still working on being the better version of myself. What I have noticed this year is, because I've thrown myself completely into your system, is I have let my fitness go a little bit. Sat on the computer.
Can't use me. That's not blame me for your fitness.
Start not blaming you directly, but it's my own thing when I tend to be quite blinkered when I've got a project to do, I can be very blinkered on it. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing as an entrepreneur, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's a gift,
Yeah.
but that laser focus. It's just that we need to make sure we've got the right systems in place. So you need to look at our time management
Yes.
system.
So the other things don't get sort of left behind. And yeah.
For that balance, and that's good though. So you realised quite early on that you needed to kind of make a change. Why did you pick the growth network specifically?
I met you at a seminar, didn't I, with Swap, and you came in as a guest speaker, and I was just very, very impressed. And you were talking about retention and that retention's a system that involves emotions of parents and the students. It isn't just expecting them to stay because they love what you. It's knowing how to retain. And don't get me wrong, I still lose students, and I feel it personally. I was feeling like, oh God, I'm getting all these new leads in, and they're coming in, and we're growing, and then a few are going out the back door, and that will never stop happening, no matter how you cannot. But as long as you start creating better systems to help with retention. And I do constantly tweak them. I'll go, what can we do that? Listen to feedback from customers, try and adapt as much as possible. I mean, talking about genuine feedback.
Yeah,
You can't please everybody all of the time, can you?
my 12-year-old's been training 3 weeks. Yeah, well,
Yeah, yeah. Why aren't they black belt? They train once a month. Why haven't they gone for the next belt progression or
but yeah, you're right with the retention stuff. It's like it's a never-ending battle to keep it. Keep is probably the wrong word, but I can't think of a better word right now. But to keep members as members long term, to keep them on that journey so they can achieve what they want to achieve and become the next version of themselves. It's definitely something that I realize people take lightly. They know it's serious that we need to work on retention, but within their schools, retention to them is just giving like well done cards and high fives,
which is yeah.
which is part of it.
Your system helped me realize that, because probably I was thinking, oh, that's what you do, you know. Yeah,
Because you can't
it's
teach
more like the bribe rather than proper retention.
exactly.
Yeah. System helped me do that, but then when I looked at the system, it's like a complete circle or closed loop of different elements, including, sales, tension, getting leads in, marketing. I've only named a few. There's a complete circle. You're probably better off naming them.
Well, I'm not going to give away too much.
I mean, AI, and I love all that stuff, and how I've taken it on board and helped me build projects and systems. I've just completely built a complete new program. It's called Little Warriors for the baby ones, because I identified since being with you that we had a hole in our system. 4-year-olds were coming into our karate program, and it was like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. It was too advanced for them. And we'd either not convert them very well. The conversion rate for them was probably only 25%, whereas the karate program, 75 to 80% conversion. And so I went into chat and completely designed everything, an instructor manual and everything for that program.
Yeah.
And so we're starting to fill that hole, if that makes sense, or where we were not catching them. So I didn't have but I didn't have a complete system, did I, that suited every age group?
It was like you had, you hit the nail on the head. You had most of it in place, but then you're missing out on an opportunity, I'd say. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Now with the systems, right? We spoke about systems quite a lot. Just at a high level, we don't need to go into loads of details. What areas became lighter or easier for you once you implemented some of our systems? We spoke about the retention one.
Yeah.
So what other areas of systems kind of made it easier within your business or lighter or anything? Cool.
I suppose the easiest way is for me to break it down how it enters my head. I think one of my 6-week sprints with you was before, when we sold stuff, we just give the parents a Stripe link. There you go. But we built an online shop in Go High Level, so it's much more professional and easier because we can just direct parents and students towards the online shop. And of course, you've got to put in some work to build it, but it looks more professional. And we get way more sales than I ever did. I never used to think about sales that much on merchandise and the special events and what have you, and how it can add extra income per month to your business.
Especially over August for you as well.
Yeah.
Like good, implementing one of our systems and over August, that was pretty cool for you.
Yeah, it was. It was a big income boost on top of what we normally wouldn't have had. I learned things through your system, like how to build anticipation in emails, and you know that I'm probably not describing it very well.
I think you described it fine. I think it's the details and nuances that a lot of people listening to this might be, or probably are unaware. Why? Because they're martial arts school owners. They're not copywriters. They're not expert marketers. So they're not going to be aware. And I think this is the reason why things like this are so good, because it makes people aware. It'll push people to think, well, I don't really know. I understand what he's saying, but I don't know how that fits into my world to benefit my students and myself. Let me have a look into it. So I think it's really, really good. It's helpful for them. It really, really is.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think was a major shift, a mindset shift for you, was letting go of doing everything and being everything, starting with teaching classes and stuff. Talk us through that. How did the implementation of that, the conversations and stuff and stepping away, how did that end up happening?
I think by listening to what you said and the other instructors said, and knowing that I was a bottleneck, I was teaching 6 days a week, every single class with assistance. Don't get me wrong, but I realized I needed to step away. Now, this year, 2026, put it in the diary. It's already implemented. I teach 3 days a week. So that's reduced 3 days a week from 6 days a week down to 3. That means those days I'm not teaching, I'm freer to be pushing, pushing the levers to send the business forward. You can't do that. Let's take a Thursday. I'm working on the business all day. I have to stop at 3:30, 4 o'clock to get ready for the club. It just stops the flow. I'm too much in it rather than on the outside.
Yeah,
pushing it forward. I'm probably not explaining this very well, but anyway.
I think you explain it perfectly. You're working, you're just stuck. You get that momentum. I think everybody feels it. I know I do. You feel the momentum of getting into doing what you're doing. And because if you've got a certain entrepreneurial drive and spirit, and you've got a drive to really make a difference for not just for ourselves, but for everybody involved, our families, our students, the instructors that work for us, the community, everything. And the admin work is our area of where we get a lot of fulfillment. And I don't think enough of us talk about that.
Yeah.
And to have to stop that to get changed and do anything can be a little bit disruptive.
Yeah, and I resonate with that because, I mean, I love some of the AI work, but not for this. Well, yeah, some of it is because I love AI. And of course, I wasn't new to it until you introduced me to it. And then I sort of went down this, but I've got to keep remembering it's there for a reason, not just because you love it. It helped me with marketing and it helps me plan projects.
Yeah.
Because I'm not very good. I've noticed that you're very good naturally at copywriting or explaining something. I'm the worst in the world. At school, I was better at maths than English. I could write a good essay, but it would take me hours before I decided it was perfect.
Right.
At least AI can now help me with the framework and I can get it out there. If that
The
makes sense.
beauty is, though, you've got, with that, you're not just messing around with AI and doing bits over here and bits over there. What I like about you and some of the other members is you're learning the systems and running the modules and all that kind of thing within the group. And you're doing specific job roles for your business that make it easier for you to produce whatever you need to produce without it being a substitute for your work, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Because none of the stuff that you guys put out is just like it's AI slop, so to speak. There's a lot of talk about AI slop. It's not that. You're using it to support what you do instead of replace.
It's got to be used to support what you do. Well, let's take one branch of AI, marketing. We in the martial arts industry have got to realize that we have got to take the level and quality of what we're putting out, whether it be posts, adverts. We've got to take it to a level that matches other industries or tries to match, because traditionally, I suppose martial arts industries will, I'll just do that and that'll do, like handwritten. Although raw posts seem to work at the moment better.
There's like the psychology, and I always spoke about the psychology of copywriting and stuff. We've done some training sessions.
Yeah.
And that education behind it, having that knowledge, and then going and using AI to help maximize that. That's the beauty.
Yeah, and I'll relate it to the training we did. When was it? Sunday, just gone. Okay. And we talked about that. But to understand those 5 different stages gave me a framework, a better clarity on why I was doing it that way and where I was doing it that way. And so I think the biggest work is clarity on why we needed to write it that way and where the hook was and what levels or what stages those prospective customers on Facebook were at.
Yeah, it makes a massive difference. That's how you use AI to really level up. It's like it's taking your education, using that education to elevate what you're already doing, and then you've got like something that your competitors really can't compete with. So let's talk about like the kind of the actual results within your business, right? Okay. So the numbers, give me the numbers beforehand. You can share whatever numbers, percentages, student numbers, whatever you want before we were working together.
Well, before we were working together, and bear in mind, so that was 2024. 2024 was better than 2023. Probably 2023 was 70,000. Is that right? 2024. Okay, and I have got all those figures. 2024
I need to believe that
was just under 100,000. This is gross annual gross. 25, 147 annual gross. So that's an increase of 47,000 annual growth income.
Jeez, an increase in 12 months of extra 47 grand. And
yes.
Schools out there, they don't even make that. So what is it that you attribute to that? What?
A mindset change, a reframing your system without blowing your trumpet, but your system. Networking with the other instructors, getting ideas, but also, so having a vision, understanding the numbers, understanding that it doesn't matter what business. So I would say the second thing is constant acquisition of leads, rhythmical acquisition of leads. And the third thing, and I'm not saying it's the least important, implementing them, those ideas, not just learning about them, implementing them.
It's the most important. Yeah, definitely implementation.
Yeah.
It's the number one thing. Take an average idea, if you implement it well, it can make great things happen. So what's the emotional shift that has happened? So what emotions have disappeared in the last 12 months that you had like before working with me?
I've had less anxiety, less stress, less feeling like on a hamster wheel.
Yeah.
I'm not sometimes not that articulate, but I understand it inside myself, if that makes sense.
Are you putting it across well? So what emotions are showing up? So what kind of, how are you feeling now about your business and your week and your day to day?
Do you know, let's relate a story. Before, like in 2023, especially 2024, not so much, but still happened. Looking at my, my business bank app and checking my account all the time. Now I know there's this, without bragging, there's this safety net. Don't need to look at it all the time. And that's a big emotional shift, isn't it? Knowing that I have those funds or that pocket of money to be able to market and what have you without worrying about this, that, and the other. I still got to keep an eye on numbers because there is a risk then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or go and get that shiny piece of software.
No, it's good though. It's really good. So on a Monday morning, are you excited about Mondays, getting into it, or
More so than I was.
more?
Been doing this a long, long time, and I think I'm at that stage in my life, to be honest with you, for the future, looking for an exit plan. That's not a good lesson for me to be speaking about to the rest of the instructors.
I think it is because it's other businesses, they start the business with a view to have an exit in, say, 3, 5, 10, 12 years at
Yeah.
this valuation. So I think it's a good, if we can change mindsets to get to that, then like, I'll see why it's a bad thing.
Yeah, so obviously I'm at that because I'm 65 this year. I wish I'd gone with you years earlier and met you years earlier. I don't have a full-time premises. I teach from good quality venues, schools, private schools, leisure centres. But I used to 10 years ago, well, it was 15 years ago, I had a full-time premises. Oh, that was a nightmare. I was stressed all the time. I wish it had a system back then.
The thing is, I think people feel that you need to have a full-time centre to be able to be successful. It
No,
couldn't be anything further than the truth.
no.
The four walls that you run your martial arts school under or in doesn't determine how successfully it can be within reason, as long as it's got a roof and
Yeah.
no leaking and stuff. But it's the systems that you run in the background. I feel the way you treat people and your intent.
Yeah.
People
And
can
that can
feel.
be exactly the same, can't it, Rick? No matter whether you rent those four walls permanently or like a full-time premises or you lease or rent just the hours you need. They both have their pros and cons. I do miss the ability to go, well, I don't have to ask somebody if I'm going to lay out a program on at that time on a thing. But also I don't have the overheads that a full-time
Yeah.
premises would bring.
And when we're talking about full-time premises, we always think of these things selfishly from our perspective, when the reality is our students that come in, it makes no difference to them as long as they're treated well and they get taught in the way and the manner that they expect and there's progress. That's all they care about.
Yeah. And I
Full-time.
totally agree. And I didn't see that before. This is my thing. It was a dream that I thought, it was something I had that I thought was my goal and dream to have a full-time premise. So let's go back before I had a full-time premises. And I thought, oh, my students, I love this. They don't really care as long as they're looked after and there. They feel they're progressing. They're achieving what they want to achieve because your students' wants and aspirations is theirs. everybody's selfish, aren't they? And that's just the way it is. Not in a horrible way, just everybody's selfish
Yeah.
for the right reasons often.
It's natural, isn't it?
It's natural, yeah.
It is natural, self-preservation.
Yeah.
So with that, you do an excellent standard of class for your school and your students.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, just while you say that, because I was trying to think in my slow brain of what the system, when you talked about simplifying the syllabus, that made a complete difference. Traditional martial art, traditional karate can be quite a big, massive, complicated syllabus. To try and get that across does not improve the quality. What it does is weakens the quality, but improves the quantity. If that makes sense. And to realize that I had to, so I simplified my syllabus. I pared it right back so that my students' quality is there. It's not about them having 1,000 different things. As long as there's enough variation, but teaching traditional Storyu karate with so many katas, so many this, so many that.
I think the mistake that a lot of school owners make is we want to teach our students the same curriculum, the same way that we were taught.
Yeah.
But I don't know about you. When I was training as a kid and stuff, our classes were like 2 hours.
Yeah.
So if you're training twice a week, well, it was more than that because there was one. I used to be part of the PK. Shout out to anybody from the PK from back in the day. They're still around. I think they are. Used to pay something like £5 for the week. You could train across all the PK clubs.
Yeah.
So I was doing these 2-hour sessions like 4 or 5 times a week. I was getting my money's worth.
Yeah.
And then moved on to other clubs and stuff. When we open up our schools, like in this new generation, and we have 45-minute classes or 1-hour classes, and trying to cram in everything that we did at the standard and the intensity, it's not feasible. So what we're saying here is like, when we say simplify the curriculum, it's making it, it's adjusting it to fit, but also shifting some of the advanced stuff later on.
Yes, it is. And it's also making it more efficient. I'm going to use the efficient for instructors to get it across, and leadership and leaders, your assistant team leaders, to get it across to those students, because it's got to be a vehicle in an efficient way to get across to those people that want to progress and achieve this and get that knowledge to them. I mean, as a kid and as a young man, I was training 4 or 5 times a week. I then got on the British squad for Shukakai. And at the time, Eddie Daniels, I don't know if you know, Eddie Daniels was the squad coach for Shukakai. And because Shukakai is just a dojo name in Japan, it's Mother Art is Storyu, so I teach Storyu. But I was on the British squad and training every month on the British squad as well, It was different. We can't. Here's the thing. I think we all do this as instructors, and especially if we've been in a long term. Well, that's the way we did it. And it doesn't work in the modern day life.
Nah, it doesn't at all. It's crazy. I find it funny that, like, with the way that I came up sparring, the level of contact intensity and standard, I'm watching my sparring class and somebody hits somebody like hard. Hey, calm down. When I'm thinking, that wasn't really that hard. If you put them back like 25 years, that wouldn't have been anything.
If you used to train in Shukakai, it was all about impact under Kimura, and we used to hit each other as hard as we can on the chest. We'd come away black and blue. But here's the strange, weird thing. You'd shout at them and say, come on. But what it did do is forge spirit and forge you as a person, your personality, your emotions. Gave you that warrior spirit. Can't do that with modern days. We talked about tradition, but here's my opinion through lots of experience. tradition doesn't mean you stay fixed. The founders of our styles of karate, of our martial arts, evolved, and you've got to evolve. If you want to teach what you love to more people, you've got to evolve with it, not stay stuck in what you did in the past.
It's so true.
And your system that you have, the growth network system, helps me evolve as a business, but also as a community. Oh, that's another thing I did, didn't I? So you said, well, do you have somewhere, this is helping with, do you have somewhere where students can go, like an online community? And I built a community on school. That's been a big help. With community, I can get stuff across to people, put all our modules and syllabus up on there, build roadmaps.
Awesome, isn't it? It's meeting people where they're at.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's trying to force them into doing it like our way. It's meeting where they're at. And it's that compromise in order to allow us to teach the art that we love.
Yeah.
The benefits.
Yeah.
Got it. One of my key core values is innovation. What was good today might not be good tomorrow, regardless of how comfortable I feel in today. And that's been a massive lesson and a massive driver in helping move things forward. But talking about that and what you've just said, what would you say to anybody that is running a school, is, don't want to say struggling, but they're not where they want to be? They're looking to maybe do something, but they're on the fence for whatever reason. Maybe they've had a bad experience elsewhere, or they just don't trust the gurus as we put in place. What would you say to those people about like seeking out somebody, not necessarily Growth Network, but anybody that they trust and feel can help them with what they need?
I think it's a mindset change, because as martial arts business owners or martial arts instructors, here's the thing, there's a difference between a martial arts business owner and the club teacher or a martial arts teacher. They're two separate things, and you need to realize it's a business. And if it's not where you want it to be, there's a reason. And we are not islands, and you need to go and seek advice and experience, like having a group of friends that all feel the same thing. And that's what the Growth Network's given me. That group, that, what's the word called, where you interact with other instructors, that networking. You're networking with the instructors and going, they feel like that. Knowing there's a place where, I think my advice was, go and find that place where there's other people that feel the way you feel and want what you want, and it will help you get to where you want. If you're feeling stressed with the martial arts business, overwhelm, this, that, and the other, go in network, join a group, the Growth Network.
That's the group. It is true though, because business is a lonely place.
Yeah.
Very, very lonely place.
Yes.
Even myself with my other businesses, like I need to have networks of friends that understand the problems that happen, because nobody's got a perfect business. A lot of us might pretend that we have, but none of us got. So having other people, like you said, that are going through the same things, or maybe been through it and got past hurdles, is a godsend. It really.
I think being an entrepreneur in any business is a lonely place to be. Being a leader in life and in your business is a lonely place to be, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
It's having mentors. Mentors have mentors.
Yeah.
And it's the biggest thing is reframing your mind as a martial arts business owner, that you should go and seek knowledge yourself, not think you know it all. What you know is what you've done every year, and then you've done it the next year, and then you've done it the next year.
And then the world's changing. It's true. Yeah. So true. So true. Specifically with the Growth Network, who is the group not for? Who shouldn't waste their time?
For people that don't want to make a difference in their community. Because here's the big thing. Being positive, and being within this group isn't just all about finances. Of course, that's we've got we to have freedom, you've got to buy freedom. I think something you've said, so, but it resonated with me, that line. It's for people that don't. It's not for people that don't want to grow and don't want to make a difference in the community. And here's what I'll say. Most people will say, but of course I want to make a difference to the community. That's why I started. But to make a bigger difference as a leader, you need to learn how to do that better and get it across to more people.
Yeah, so true. So true. That's cool. So, Stephen, I want to thank you for taking the time out today and sharing your journey and everything. You continue to impress everybody in the group. Really, really do. Showing up and implementing the systems, getting success and stuff, and moving things forward so bloody quickly as well. You know what I mean? It's
yeah, I would hate myself sometimes.
Good job.
Thank you, Rick, for the thing. And can I apologize to everybody for waffling on?
No, not at all. Not at all. I think it's been a really, really episode, and I think people can get a lot from it. So, again, thanks a lot, Steve. Really
Take care.
Cool. Right. So, guys, if you want to find out any more about what we do at the Growth Network, or if you want to find out more about Stephen's journey, feel free to reach out to me on any of my socials. It's Rick Dubidat. Or you can reach out to Steve. I'm sure he don't mind. Send him a DM or something on social saying, hey, how you doing? And take it from there. Right, we'll see you next time on the next episode of the Martial Art Business Growth Network.